The Minotaur who declared war on mediocre cooking. The fire crackled, mugs clinked, and the Wandering Tavern settled into the town of Leilon. It appeared to be a peaceful night just like any other, until the doors exploded inward with the force of an angry demigod, or possibly an angry bull. In stomped a Minotaur, a massive one, armor dented from old travels, holy symbol of Amaunator catching the firelight, and an apron stuffed into his belt like he'd just come from a battle with a roast. He sniffed the air, snorted, then bellowed. Who, he demanded, is responsible for that smell? The tavern froze. Lion froze. A bard in the corner froze mid-lyric about goblin romance. Uh, Lion said cautiously, the stew? The Minotaur groaned like he had just witnessed a sunrise in grayscale. That, he declared, is not stew. That is a crime against the light of a Minotaur. The Minotaur introduced himself simply. Findavin Broadshadow. No titles, no flourishes, just a name and a growing, simmering disappointment in the tavern's menu. Findavin explained that he was a wandering cleric of Amaunator, guided by sacred duty and, somewhat more urgently, his passion for culinary excellence. He had been wandering aimlessly when, quite suddenly, the Wandering Tavern appeared, and the moment he caught a whiff of its offerings, he smelled mediocrity. Unacceptable. He stomped toward Lion and pointed a massive finger at him. You seem like a good man, Findavin said. Honest, steady, someone who would never intentionally serve such tepid disappointment in a bowl. Lion blinked slowly. Before anyone could protest, Findavin dropped his pack, outspilled pots, herbs, spices, a ladle that might actually have been magical, and a skillet with more dents than his armor. Stand aside, he said, for a Minotaur guides my hand, and he will not tolerate blandness. He surged into the kitchen. Moments later, sounds emerged that no kitchen should ever produce. Clang, whoosh, a choir of very confused ghosts singing. And then came a smell, a heavenly smell, one that made even the undead tavern regular in the corner stop complaining about his joints. Findavin Broadshadow emerged at last, steam rising dramatically from behind him like he'd just survived a culinary apocalypse. In his hands he carried a stew pot, a glowing stew pot. Its contents so radiant that they cast actual light. Amaunator approved, obviously. Eat, he commanded simply. The tavern obeyed. At the first bite, a half-orc burst into tears and apologized for every bad decision he'd ever made. A dwarf declared the stew marriage material. A sorcerer contemplated multi-classing into cooking. And then Lion tasted it. It was warmth, hope, sunrise, and comfort. It tasted like the light of a Minotaur had decided to bless a bowl. Lion raised his mug. To Findavin Broadshadow, may he always wander near Leilon, and may our kitchen survive his divine enthusiasm. The tavern roared in agreement. Findavin nodded once, solemnly, then added, "Also, your spice drawer is an abomination. We will discuss that later." And thus began the legend of the Minotaur cleric who waged holy war upon bland food. A gentle soul with divine magic, a giant spoon, and zero tolerance for underseasoning.